Hi, my name is Juri. My website is jurilove.com, jurilove.com. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and get notification and click on likes. So I've been making a video about stocks and cryptocurrency and some investment, but today I want to talk about zone change. And zone change is not a new crypto. It's just like straightforward land investment and then the zoning changing. Like I'm being studying and learning and asking so many questions. So today I had some new development exciting meeting with some company that has engineering and then developing different in different states, and then I was able to schedule a meeting with the administration person and their attorney and my friend who has been helping with this process of zone change. So what happened was I've been investing in stocks and crypto, and obviously when you sell stocks and then crypto, it's gone, and then the money is not passive income anymore, obviously. So really the goal is to make some capital and invest in real estate so you can have some passive income. So I don't have much capital to start with, but when I made some gain 3 years ago, I flew to New Mexico, a city called Rio Rancho, and then bought some really inexpensive vacant lots. So right now I have about seven, but anywhere between like $1,200 to $2,500 back then 3 years ago, but it's kind of tripled now. So the development is coming to the place, the specific lots that we bought, my son and I. But what happened was I was really trying to, first of all, long-term investment and hold, and then when my son turns 18, quick claim deed and then just title it over and he can do whatever he wants, and then hoping along the way that when the land value goes up, we'll do 1031 like kind exchange to defer the tax, and then find maybe property in Miami, I don't know, tenant occupied condo. So I was kind of thinking that, but then I started to use Clubhouse, and then in Clubhouse there are a lot of like real estate development, real estate talk. And then along the way I met so many great people from Clubhouse, and then one particular friend that I actually was able to meet up in California when I went for my movie job. And he really enlightened me about a lot of stuff prior to that as well. But now I gained some knowledge about how to change the zoning, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. But I wanted to make a video because I'm very passionate about it. So this particular vacant lot that we purchased, me and my son, through the investment, some gain. Now it's in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which I made a video before, so I'm gonna put the link below so you can watch the full video about why I invested in Rio Rancho and then how I got the land. But it's basically a town or city that Intel invested a lot of money for school system. So a lot of people are moving into Rio Rancho. It's a hot area. I think it's a hot investment because of, a lot of people are seeking these high ranked schools, and then from people from Albuquerque, maybe Santa Fe, or even California moving to Rio Rancho because of that purpose. Now the land right now, it's 2021 May. When I reached out to City of Rio Rancho Development Office, the land that I own right now is about 1.5 miles away from 1.5 mile away from paved road. So it has to have like a city water and sewer and then paved road. However, there's application fee associated with it, and then it's basically 1 acre below is about 260, and 5 acre below is about 530. non-refundable application fee, which means even if you apply and if you don't get it, the fee is not going to come back. And when you submit the request for zone change, there's a checklist. So they send me the checklist, which is really intense zone map amendment process and checklist. So some of the checklists are like, say, a proposed zone change must be found be consistent with the health and safety, blah, blah, blah. And then stability of the land and zoning is desirable, therefore applicant must provide a sound justification for the change. So there are a lot of intense languages that you must not forget to do the letter. Now, I have never done this before, but I've been really studying and I've been having meetings. And then today I was able to talk to a consultant attorney and then the administration people who's done it before. And then so what I really got out of it, but before that, the purpose of changing the zoning is right now it's R1, which you can only build single family, and then ADU, so ADU's accessory dwelling unit, which California allowed and New Mexico as well, which means you don't have to change the zoning because it's hard to change the zone, but because of the population that they're allowing people to make an attachment. So ADU is getting popular, so you can either like rent it out as a second unit or like in-laws apartment or Airbnb, etc. So anyways, I can still hold on to not changing the zone and have a single home and ADU, which I could potentially rent out to two families. And also another thing is if you have a lot of room, if you can build a lot of rooms for a single family, you can do like either sober home or group home, and also rent to a traveling nurse, like each room. So those are some options. But to change the zone, the purpose of it is, say, from R1 right now to R4, R5 higher density zoning, is because then you can build more houses in half acre. So the conversation that I had was very interesting because the land that I bought is rectangle, and then there's a road, and then it's kind of skinny rectangle. So he suggested maybe we can do split, but then when you split half acre, maybe some people don't like that, and then because it's kind of skinny, it's gonna go like rectangle. So maybe whoops, like we change it to split, and then maybe people wouldn't like it. So that's one option as an application. But then there are 7 lots. So one of the property that we have is back to back, half acre. So he said it's most likely that has a lot of potential because there's high intensity, I think that's the word. So the area is vacant right now, but then near it there's a maybe recreation center or like school, like maybe city facility. So those are really good sign that potentially we can change the zoning for it. Now there are 2 different ways that I learned. So traditionally you just go through the city developer and write a letter of request, show up for the meeting like twice, and then see if you get approved or denied, and it's a process. But another way that I've learned is to really tie up with state rep or the city councilor to see if they can co-sponsor you for variance. So that's number 2. And another one is called faith-based housing group. So it's like churches and then the people who can advocate for your needs. So those are the things. Now, another thing that I learned today, it's very interesting, is a couple things. When you see the zone change and when you want to do the zone change, so now I have this 2 lots back to back. He said to find the owners around like where I have the land and really try to see if they are interested in doing the zone change together. So if the 10 owners of this vacant lands are interested in changing the zone together, we can apply as a group application. So that entire area will be maybe affordable housing, like 8 to 10. But another thing is when the city, I suggested maybe like 2 to 5 years when more houses are around, it's easier to change from R1 to R4, 5. But then he said he has seen the cases where when the developing is coming, and then some people have like maybe $1 million like home, and then they don't want to see 350K like 8 homes next to your lot. So they want to have that consistency. So he said it will be harder to request for a zone change once your neighbor started to develop and they have this looks. So they want to like have that. So now it's vacant. So he said it's better to do it now. Now, interesting thing is, the city developer said since I have 7, so under 5 acres is 3.5 acres is like $530. So he said that to save money, that I should apply for both, like all of it. But the attorney, the consultant company said if one of the lots, like which is kind of outskirt, like a rural area, wouldn't get approved, then all the other 6 lots, so the total 7, will get denied. So he said to not take that risk because some of the places are maybe have higher chances. So that he said to select, pinpoint the one that we may be able to do the zone change and apply for that specific lots and then see if we have a chance for it. So that's what I learned today. And then he has the fee, obviously, and then the fee includes researching and then writing the letter of request and then showing up for the meeting. And then they said I can zoom in because I'm out of state. So anyways, that is my research and talk, and it's definitely interesting process. I don't know what's gonna happen, and but at the same time I'm really learning this process. So hopefully something would happen, but to me this is such a learning process, and I had no idea I could change the zone or not. So anyways, if you want to learn more about the zone change, you can obviously Google, but there's a website called Just Great Database, which has different type of zoning. So 5 types of zoning in the U.S. is that one is residential, one is commercial, one is industrial, and then historic and agriculture. So basically, I fit in R, so R residential, and I think residential to commercial zone change is very hard, but within the R1 to 5, 4, 5, potentially. Now, interesting fact is that if I could house 2 families using single family and then ADU, potentially they have 2 children each families, and then we can provide 4 children really good higher education in the city of Rio Rancho. But my argument is that if we could change the zone and then maybe house like 10 families and potentially 2 kids each, maybe 20 children instead of 4, that can have access to this higher education. So my argument is that how would you not provide and the housing for the higher education that would in 2 decades or so eventually grow the economy, having this higher education, educating young people. So that is my argument. And then also the tax purpose of it, how it's just a lot of languages. So I'm trying to see if there's any hard data, so long-term effect, long-term data that I could prove maybe using the city of Boston, where I worked as a nonprofit founder and president, to teach music to juvenile offenders in a detention program. So I reached out to one of the former director to see if there's any data, and she said there's a Citizen for Juvenile Justice, Juvenile System, a nonprofit that collects all this long-term data. So I'm really hoping that in one paragraph that of the letter request that we can state why providing the higher education can not only prevent the crime, but have this high educated youth that can really contribute to our society. So that's my argument, and so see how it goes. But I'm trying to think outside the box. But if you have any tips for me, and then if you have any experience about zone change, especially from R1 to R4, R5, please give me some tips. And again, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I'm trying. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.